When you think of VIP protection, you would normally imagine high-ranking people like a state president, CEO of a large corporate, or a wealthy individual who needs a bodyguard or two. But what if I told you that the City of Johannesburg's VIP protection policy provided for up to 8 bodyguards for the mayor, multiple bodyguards for the speaker, and personal protectors for other senior officials, exceeding limits set by the Minister of Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs? Welcome to the Riaan Show, where I look into those stories that affect every South African in some or other way. Let's get to the story. The City of Johannesburg's VIP protection policy became a major point of contention, with debates, legal challenges, and questions surrounding financial responsibility and adherence to the law. A new VIP protection policy was adopted in March 2024. The policy sought to enhance security for council members, but was quickly criticized for potentially violating national regulations and its high costs. So, what does one of these VIP protection unit guys cost? Think up a number, a monthly salary, while I give you some more information. We'll see how close you got a little later. The Gauteng High Court declared the policy unconstitutional and invalid in January 2025. The City of Johannesburg's VIP protection policy has undergone some revisions, reflecting both political maneuvering and public scrutiny. Initially proposed to grant each of the 270 councillors and committee members access to 2 VIP security guards without requiring a risk assessment from the SAPS. The original policy faced immediate backlash. Critics highlighted that the first draft falsely claimed that there would be no additional cost to the city, raising concerns about transparency and fiscal responsibility. After the Council's Safety Committee rejected the initial version, a revised policy emerged, titled the Protection and Security for VIP Risk Management System. This new framework was placed under the oversight of the city's Department of Public Safety, indicating a more structured approach to security management. The revised policy stipulated that financial implications would only be determined following a proper SAPS risk assessment, aiming to align with legal requirements and public expectations. However, controversy continued as a second draft of the policy was introduced just before a crucial council meeting, catching many of the councillors off guard. Despite limited visibility to these changes, the policy was ultimately passed on March 20, 2024, with a vote tally of 126 in favour and 68 against. The adoption of this policy has sparked debates about its necessity and cost effectiveness. Critics argue that such extensive security measures for politicians divert essential resources from pressing public services like water and electricity infrastructure. The recent court ruling declaring the policy unconstitutional has further underscored these concerns, promoting calls for greater accountability in how public funds are allocated for personal security. One of the key issues with the VIP protection policy is compliance with the Remuneration of Public Office Bearers Act. According to the Remuneration of Public Office Bearers Act, only the mayor, deputy mayor, speaker and whips are entitled to 2 bodyguards each. Other councillors must undergo a thorough threat and risk analysis by the SAPS before they can receive personal security. The initial VIP protection policy faced criticism for not following legal rules. Critics said it seemed like an attempt to approve decisions already made. Allegations surfaced that the city had provided security to certain officials without the required SAPS threat analysis, raising concerns about transparency and accountability. By the way, The policy was originally approved during the tenure of controversial and now fraud-accused former Mayor Kabelo Gwamanda. Remember how I mentioned guessing the salary of the VIP protection people, the bodyguards? Well, each VIP protector costs more than 54,000 Rand per month. This has led to significant debates about the financial impact of having such extensive security measures. Many people view the policy as unlawful, especially since residents are already dealing with ongoing issues related to essential service delivery. The council's decision to allocate so much money to VIP protection while basic services remained a challenge has raised eyebrows and concerns among the community. The controversy hit its peak when the Gauteng High Court ruled that the policy was unconstitutional and invalid. The court pointed out that the city failed to get a comprehensive risk assessment from the SAPS to justify the extra security measures. This ruling not only questions the council's decision-making process, but also stresses the importance of following legal guidelines in public governance. The decision highlights the critical need for adherence to legal frameworks, ensuring that public officials make decisions that are both transparent and justifiable. In recent council debates, several key issues and differing viewpoints emerged. Some members expressed concerns about the lack of financial transparency and the strain it placed on the Johannesburg Metro Police Department. Additionally, a few councillors raised alarm over the easy access to council chambers, which they felt was a security risk. On the legal front, some councillors argued that the policy violated the Remuneration of Office Bearers Act. They believed that the policy did not adhere to the legal provisions meant to regulate such protections. In contrast, other councillors supported the policy, emphasizing the importance of safeguarding VIPs. An ANC councillor highlighted that all councillors not covered by the upper limits must undergo SAPS risk assessment before receiving protection. Meanwhile, the city defended its actions, claiming that protection services were provided on an ad hoc basis, following a threat risk assessment. These debates underscored the complexities and challenges involved in balancing security needs with legal and financial responsibilities. The Democratic Alliance took legal action against the VIP protection policy, arguing it was unconstitutional and a misallocation of funds, especially during a city water crisis. The Gauteng High Court sided with the DA, ruling that the policy was indeed unconstitutional and invalid. Judge Stuart Wilson noted that although the ministerial limit of 2 bodyguards could be exceeded in certain cases, it required SAPS recommendations based on a risk analysis. The court found that the City Council had not obtained the necessary threat assessment from the SAPS to justify assigning multiple bodyguards. The ruling emphasized that public officials should not be isolated from the public through excessive security measures. Judge Stuart Wilson said, "Public officials are not entitled to exist in a security bubble, abstracted from the day-to-day concerns of the general public." Judge Wilson found the policy wholly inconsistent with the legislation, unconstitutional and invalid. He, however, suspended his order for 6 weeks, in case a threat assessment could justify any of the current allocations in the interim. Judge Wilson said, "Were the stakes lower, I would simply have declared the resolution invalid and set aside the VIP protection policy and the unlawful personal protection allowances with immediate effect. However, I do not think it would be wise to issue an order interfering with the personal protection services available to senior municipal councillors in circumstances where I cannot be sure that such an order would not place anyone in danger. The aftermath of the ruling has sparked significant concerns about its implementation and the financial impact on the city, which is already facing a 300 million rand deficit. The DA pointed out that the city had failed to provide threat assessments for over a year, highlighting a lack of compliance with necessary procedures. The DA strongly believes that funds should be allocated to residents' need rather than expensive bodyguards for politicians. This stance underscores the ongoing debate about prioritizing public resources and ensuring transparency and accountability in governance. The financial strain and legal challenges continue to be a focal point of discussion as the city navigates these complex issues. In wrapping up, the City of Johannesburg's VIP protection policy highlights a significant conflict. How can we ensure the safety of public officials while also adhering to legal and financial regulations? The answer should be quite simple. Why are these people messing this up? The court ruling emphasizes the importance of transparent processes, proper risk assessments, and the responsible use of public funds. But what do you think? Should the focus be more on safety of officials or the needs of the residents? How can the city balance these priorities effectively? Please do share your thoughts and opinions in the comments section below this video. If you found any value in this video, please do like, share and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.